Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mindfulness Monday. And today, as you can see, is the day that I have a guest on and we'll be doing an interview. So welcome, Elizabeth. So excited to have you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's going to be a great one. So today we are going to be talking about 3 ways to declutter for playfulness. And I'm going to tell you where this came from and also how I met Elizabeth here. So if you don't know me first, my name is Gregg, and I have a company called Soaring Healing. And I love to help people connect to their bodies so they can move past anxiety, past stress, and really be the best version of themselves. And so I do that through mindfulness, movement, and energy. So with that, I love Mindfulness Mondays because it's an opportunity to give you some things to think about and some things to implement right now in the space of mindfulness and this opportunity. So, as many of you know, and what I talked about last week is that July, my theme is really fun, playfulness, and really that exploration. And so excited to have Elizabeth with us today as we talk about how to declutter with that in that place and bring forth that playfulness that much more. So she's going to be sharing some 3 ways with us. I'm really excited to hear them. But first, how I met Elizabeth at a networking group. I was doing a presentation, and it was one of my first presentations, Elizabeth, actually. And through that, we were doing some dancing and we were doing some various things. And I gave away a mala that day at the presentation, and she won the mala. And so from that, there was just a connection, and we've been working together on a few other things, and I've enjoyed getting to know her and bringing her on today. I think you're going to love this. So she has a company called Simply You. And what I'm calling her, and I don't know if you call yourself this, Elizabeth, but I'm calling you it, is a decluttering, simplifying, and organizing expert. She is the one that really helps you look at your home with different set of eyes and being able to really move forward with that. So, Elizabeth, tell us how long you've been doing this.
I am coming up right on a year. I'm really excited, and it's just been an amazing journey helping people declutter, simplify, and get organized.
Cool. That's great. That's great. So good. So today, tell us about these 3 ways. I am really excited to hear about these. I know some of your clients and some of the amazing things that you've done for them. So I'm really excited to share these 3 ways with folks. So let's jump into that.
Yeah, so when you brought up playfulness, I thought like about hobbies, things that people do for enjoyment, and a lot of the joy can get taken out of those things by clutter or by messes, by overwhelm. So the first way that I feel like decluttering can really help with that is when you declutter, you have a clean slate, a clear space, which improves your energy and your joy for the activity. If you have to start an activity by cleaning up a mess, you've already depleted some energy for that activity that you really enjoy, and you're already kind of in this deflated situation because you're like, oh, I wanted to cook, but I had to clean the kitchen first. And so it kind of takes that joy away from the thing that you actually do really love to do.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. Well, and you talking about that, you know, I love energy. So that energy part of it is really big because the space that you're in can even hold an energy and how it is organized and sort of set up. So what I hear you saying is really creating that space so you can walk into it, have that joy and that energy with you, and then be able to just start your project. I love
Exactly.
that. Yeah. Good. Well, tell us number 2.
So number two is how it can bring more playfulness is just knowing what you have and being able to find it. A big thing I work on with my clients for any activity they do consistently is to set up a kit or if you're very lucky, like a room that you get to do your activity that you like to do in. It just helps you to have everything you need to start the activity. Like you said, you're ready to go. You don't have to do any preparation. You grab whatever it is and you're ready to start, whether it's like knitting or going camping or going to your book club or whatever. You just have this little packet of everything you need and then you're ready to go. And it's all set up for you. Again, it doesn't deplete your energy to be running through looking, gathering everything. And you don't want to waste the precious time that you do have to work on your hobbies doing things like that.
Yeah, no, that's a great one. I'm wondering, what do these kits look like? Like, I'm like visualizing this really cool, like wooden box. Like, I don't know. What sort of things have you worked with your clients on? How do you get all those together in one space?
Yeah, obviously depending on what the activity is, like for knitting, for example, usually just like one of those like shoebox totes. It's like you have the needles, you have the yarn, you have, all your little gizmos for that. For me personally, a big thing we do is camping, and we have a camping closet because camping stuff is big and bulky. And it's like, so we have our camp closet where we go and just take everything out. Everything goes on the trip with us. Don't really have to worry about forgetting something, because if something is in the closet, then it needs to be in the car.
Right. I love that. I love that. We have a camping shed, but not all
Okay.
the time can I say that all of it goes. So I might need to look at that one a little bit closer.
There's lots of
Oh,
ways to do it. And some people, it's baking. They set up a section of their kitchen that's baking only. And then when they're ready to bake, it's all there. They take it all out, put it all back when they're done, ready to go for next time.
yeah, yeah. I can really see that for baking. We just did some cookies yesterday, and I kind of have things in a few different cabinets, but if I actually had them a little bit closer, that might make that a little bit easier to find everything. So cool. I love that. I love that. All right, so what's the third way?
The third one is just reduced distractions and better focus. If you are working on a creative project, you can become distracted by clutter. You might end up cleaning your desk instead of doing the project or writing the book or whatever it is that you're doing. So it really just allows you that laser focus of completing what you want to complete. And I think that's always something that's really important for people who are trying to achieve goals with their projects, or just even playing with your kids. You don't want to be distracted in another place or thinking about the mess that they're making or that was already made. When you're trying to focus and play with them, you want to be fully present. I think it really gives you that opportunity to do that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and you and I, as we were preparing for today, we talked a little bit about sort of that external clutter and how that then affects kind of our internal.
Yeah.
Because that's the work that I do, right? Is turning it around and how does it affect the internal? And I can really see, spaces and being able to get ready for these different activities that we love, because we can really bypass it and say, oh, I don't know where all that stuff is. I don't even want to do that, even though taking that break in the day may just be a really necessary and needed thing for us to then continue on through whatever we need to work on or whatever it may be.
Yes.
So, yeah. Is that something that you see kind of in how you work with your clients, or how does that come in?
Yeah, I always just kind of like to follow up with my clients and see if anything kind of positive flowed into the space after it was decluttered. And I think it almost always does happen on some level or another. They may not recognize it directly, but it's like when you clear away everything that is not working for you, it's not fitting your lifestyle anymore or whatever, you really just allow that space for good to come into your life. And you're like, oh, I cleaned my office and got new clients, or I, you know, redid the kitchen and now I have reinvigorated my love for cooking, or so, my family's eating at home again. Like those types of things are all like so many possibilities for the good stuff that can come in. Personally, I think my like minimalism journey let me quit my really bad day job. I don't think I could have done it without clearing the past and clearing those kind of things that weren't working for me anymore.
Good point. Good point. Yeah, I love that. So, if someone was on today and they really wanted to work with you or figure out kind of what's going on for them and see if you could help them, how do you work with your clients? Like, what's the first steps? Like, what does it look like, especially in where we're at right now, right? And kind of the COVID. And I know that there's some shifts that you've had to make. But yeah, tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah, so through my website or email, phone call, I just connect with a client for an initial meeting. I do a free half-hour consultation, and typically it's in person, and I go and just look at whatever space they are wanting to talk about. It could be the whole home, it could be a cabinet, it doesn't really matter. And I just see what kind of struggles they're having and really get at the goal that they want to achieve by getting that space organized, whether it's like to convert it to a home office or whether it's just to reduce their stress, whatever it might be. And if it's a good match after that, then sometimes we just roll it right into a session and keep going, or we reschedule a full session, typically 2 to 4 hours at a time, depending on how they're feeling, how quickly they're making decisions, things like that. It can be really emotional and somewhat draining sometimes for people. It's just a lot to go through. So I really just kind of gauge how they're feeling to see how long the session should go on. And then we just keep meeting. I don't like to call it homework, but I can give homework if people want it. If they don't want it, that's great. And I just come back and we pick up where we left off.
Gotcha. Yeah, that sounds really simple. I mean, that 30-minute time with you could probably unravel a lot of things that people maybe are just like focusing on. And like you said, continues to have be that distraction that's sort of running in the background and really being able to sort of put that at ease. So for all of you watching today or later today, then we're going to put the link down below so you can get right to her contact page for Elizabeth here and be able to schedule that up if you're interested. So as always, thanks for watching Mindfulness Monday. And Elizabeth, thanks so much for being here today. Is there any last minute words of wisdom in the declutter world that you'd like to share with everyone?
For decluttering, my best advice is just to get started. You'll feel so much better once you start. Just throw away a sock that has a hole in it or something.
Right now, just do that.
Go do it.
Oh, yes, I love that. Well, thank you again for being here with us today. Thank you. And again, thank you all for watching Mindfulness Monday. As you all know, it comes up every Monday at 3:30 p.m. and we're always talking about a different topic. And the topic this month, I think, is so much fun with the playfulness and the fun and the exploration and really bringing that back into what we do. If you ever want to dive deeper into what your body and mind connection is for you, I would love to chat with you. You can leave a message below or private message me at any time if you have any questions or thoughts. Would love to do a session with you soon. So we'll see you next time and have a wonderful rest of your Monday. Bye-bye for now.